If you click this video at one point away, then please tell me what the reason was so that I can improve. Otherwise, hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn Biographyology, today Cleopatra, and after we've done that, we're going to do leg injury prevention training. And if you participate in the leg injury prevention training, then it's at your own risk. And we're talking also a bit about self-harm, about suicide. Cleopatra, she lived 69 until 30 before Christ. This is the second time we're going through it. Now we're going to go through the text and gather the informations together, memorize them, and trying to make them from memory a presentation about Cleopatra. So, 69 until 30 before Christ was the last Macedonian queen of Egypt. She was descendant from Ptolemy, who was a general of Alexander the Great, who made himself king after Alexander died. Alexander the Great lived 300 years earlier. He had a general named Ptolemy, and he became the king after Alexander had died. And Cleopatra was a descendant of this Ptolemy. Cleopatra may have been beautiful. She was certainly intelligent, charming, and highly determined. In 51 before Christ, Cleopatra became queen, then her father died. Her 10-year-old brother Ptolemy became king. 51 she became queen when also her brother became Ptolemy king. I think these are two different Ptolemies. Ptolemy's guardians seized power and drove Cleopatra out. She was restored to the throne by the Roman armies of Julius Caesar. Okay, Ptolemy seized the power and drove her out, but she was restored with the help of Julius Caesar, the Roman emperor. Legend has it that Cleopatra had herself delivered to Caesar rolled up in a carpet. Maybe you're going to say it as a little anecdote or legend. At one time she was rolled up in a carpet on her own wish and had delivered herself to Julius Caesar. Whatever is true. Caesar fell in love with her and she had a son, Caesarion, by him. Okay, she also had a son together with Julius Caesar, Caesarion. Caesar invited Cleopatra and Caesarion to Rome, where she stayed until 44 before Christ, and in the year 44 before Christ, Caesar was killed. The Roman general Mark Antony went to Cleopatra for her support in his bid for power in Rome. He too fell in love with her. They later married and had 3 children. Okay, the Roman general Mark Antony, probably after Caesar's death, and they had 3 children, married and had 3 children. Mark Antony returned to Rome to make a political marriage to Octavia, sister of Octavian. However, he soon returned to Cleopatra. So Mark Antony married, out of political reasons, the sister of the ruling emperor. Augustus Octavian seems to be the same person. Mark Antony and Cleopatra were ambitious and strove to take over the Eastern Roman Empire. Their armies, however, were defeated at the Battle of Actium of Greek in 31 before Christ, 51 Queen, 44 Caesar, and the 31 the Battle Actium. By the force of Octavian, later known as Augustus Caesar. So Octavian is the same one, and in the battle there. As Octavian chased them both to Alexandria in Egypt, Cleopatra spread rumors that she was dead. In despair, Mark Antony stabbed himself. He died in her arms. Cleopatra tried to make peace with Octavian, but failed. She took her own life by placing an asp, which is a poisonous snake, on her breast. Much has been made of Mark Antony and Cleopatra's romantic relationship, but theirs was also a strong political alliance. Octavian described Cleopatra as a wicked temptress, and the idea has stuck. Her people in Egypt, however, thought of her as a great, just and much-loved queen. Maybe we're going to say it. So Octavian, who was an enemy, described her as wicked and someone who tries to tempt people. And that idea has stuck as a description of Cleopatra. And he has now said that many people in Egypt thought of her as a great and just queen. Okay, it was Actium in 31 before Christ. 51, that is Ptolemy, Mark Antony, Octavian, Augustus. I think we have it all. Back to Alexandria. And Cleopatra, it was an asp. The snake was an asp. Maybe I'm able to save it. Mark Antony had a political marriage with Octavia, sister of Octavian. Caesarion was the son. Okay, I'm going to start the second camera and I'll try to set it. I think Augustus was also descendant of Caesar. He was one of, I don't know if he was adopted. So right, I think if we're trying to get this together the story, and there's a little bit more. Cleopatra, she was the queen of Egypt. There's the Mediterranean Sea between Europe and Africa, and there's Egypt in the northern part of Africa. And she was there 2,000 years ago, the queen of Egypt. In the year 51 before Christ, she became the queen of Egypt. Now she was the last descendant on the throne of Egypt of the Macedonians, of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, he had a general called Ptolemy, and she was the descendant of him. After Alexander the Great has died, Ptolemy became the ruler. Now she became at the same time queen as also her brother became king, but he drove her out. His name was also Ptolemy, her brother's name. He drove her out and he seized the power, but then Julius Caesar helped her to come back onto the throne in Egypt. Now, and she was with Julius Caesar as a couple, and they had a son called Caesarion. She moved to Rome with Caesarion and lived there where also Julius Caesar was living. So Rome is in the northern part is in the southern part of Europe, whereas Egypt and 600-700 kilometers north is now Italy. And they were living there, but then in the year 44 before Christ, so she was at that point for 7 years queen of Egypt, where Caesar was murdered. And there broke a civil war out, and she went probably back to Egypt. And there was now another person, Mark Antony. Mark Antony had 3 children now with Cleopatra. And he was for political reasons married to Octavia, who was the sister of the Roman emperor then Octavia. And then later when Octavian was the actual empire, when they had the name Augustus Caesar. And now they tried to get power, Mark Antony and Cleopatra. They tried to rule the Eastern Roman Empire. And they didn't, because in the Battle of Actium in the year 31 before Christ, their armies were defeated off the coast of Greek. That is now there's Egypt, there's Italy, and there's Greek. And they both fled then to Egypt, and Cleopatra spread the rumors that she was dead, probably to flee. And Mark Antony was in despair about it, tells the story, and so he committed suicide. He died, according to the story, in her arms. Now Cleopatra tried to make peace with Octavian, the Augustus I, the ruler of the Roman Empire, but it didn't work out, and so she laid an asp, according to the story, an asp, which is a poisonous snake, onto her breast, and then died of its poison of the snake. Octavian wrote about her, and he described her as a wicked temptress, and that description stuck then in many people's mind, but he was an enemy of her. And also, now there's a legend told that at one time she was delivering herself rolled up in a carpet to Julius Caesar. But it's not clear if it actually happened. Now, whatever the truth, no. The people in Egypt thought of her as a great and good queen. That is according to World History on the page 162 and 163 by Miles Katz. I'm going to stop the camera. It wasn't the most structured one. No, he was the last of the Macedonian, but why is Ptolemy a Macedonian? Because everyone was a Macedonian. Macedonia was a region, not a family. That was the first thing. Just was great, just much loved queen. At least some people did it. Now that was the biographyology part. If you were here for biographyology and you can go directly to the next part of biographyology, or history if you want to, or Roman, or Egyptology, or to Roman Empire studies. We have always called it. Now that was another biographyology part. If you stay here and participate in the leg intervention training, then it's at the arms. Have a good standing leg and swing the leg in front and to the side. If you participate, then it's at the arms. Other leg in front and to the side. And now the foot in front and back. And the other foot front and back. One leg up, out to the side, very again in, out into the middle, and down. Other leg up, very again, out to the side, very again in, out into the middle, and down. Leg up, hands up, and both over. And leg. Middle and down. Both again up, and both up. And middle and down. Now one leg up and press with the knee up and to the side. Other leg up and press up and to the side. Now stand good on one leg. This exercise can go onto the knee, turn over to the knee, or to the side, to one side, go down into the knee, slowly and control turn over, come up again. Other leg. Stand good. Turn over to that leg. Down. Slowly and control turn over. Next exercise. This exercise can go again onto the knee. Now reach always with the heel to imaginary 90-minute intervals on an imaginary dial of clock. Or you go down with the knee always. It's up to 12 o'clock and to 1:30. 3 o'clock and 10:30, at 9 and 7:30, 6 o'clock and 4:30, and also 3. Next exercise, don't do it if you're pregnant. Heel onto the ground, lift the heel off the ground, and place it again onto the ground. Other side. One hand on tummy, one on lower back, and lift the leg straight up. Try to bring the leg higher. Control with the hands that you don't hold back. And pull it up. The other one. Lift it higher. And pull it up. And now stamp, leg up and down. Other one. Now have a good standing leg. Bring one leg in and out. And if you like, you can go with the whole body now with it. And if you like and can, you can swing the whole leg straight back. And change the leg. First the leg in and out. And if you like and can, the whole body moves. And if you like and can, without injuring yourself, the whole leg back. And breathing. Legs wide apart, breathing it down. Breathe in and close the legs. And breathe again out. That was the leg intervention training. I thank you very much and until next time.